hundreds of games in and out. And yeah, he's got the speed and the skills to match.
Let's see, they're locked and loaded here. Jan is ready to go. He probably has some tea there, looking fresh and clean. If it looks calm, Firouzja locked in right into the screen, and leaning into the laptop or computer, wherever he is here. But this match is about to start. Guys, are you ready in chat? Game has started.
Here we go. Speed Chess Championship quarterfinals. We begin with the 5+1. Alireza begins with the white pieces and A3, James. That was played recently by Levon Aronian at the World Cup. Sneaky move. But Jan is prepared with black.
Yeah, he just goes as regular. Okay, you know what? A3 is cool and all. We're just going to play regular chess here in an Italian game and develop pieces. D6, takes. Yeah, I love what white has. I'm a fan of these positions. They're sort of, I guess, it looks like a Philidor almost now. Well, with bishop on C5. So it could be a better version for black here with a bishop on C5 rather than not. Some type of Scotch, like by transposition.
Yeah, that's true. White playing the Scotch just with this A3 move, which probably isn't the most useful, but could come in handy maybe a bit later. A3 was played by Aronian at the World Cup, and the whole idea was to try and tempt black to play a quick D5, but Jan knew that he shouldn't go for that. He should play the Italian instead, just to tempo down. And his last move given an exclam. Like you said, looking fresh, sipping his tea, new haircut, new Jan maybe, as he aims to bounce back from a tough few months. Now trying to break the pin.
This is all theory, I remember. Bishop G5, Bishop H4, yeah, Rook E1. This is definitely Scots by transposition. Forgot which line. I think the early Bishop C5, actually, as the Bishop is on B6 now. And no, remember, from White's standpoint, you still do end up casting queenside. I don't remember if you give this pawn up on E4. So this is where it gets a little bit weird here. But casting queenside is definitely possible. Let's see if Firouzja goes for it.
Yeah, you need a few moves, I guess, here. Big pressure on the E4 pawn. Maybe a move like queen to D3, for example, although you got to reckon with being hit by the black knight. I love your idea of casting queenside. It's just how to get it done. Maybe a move like F3 as well, but I don't know. Touching pawns isn't what he wants, Firouzja. He wants to keep his options open. He defends his center with his knight instead. Feels like it's gone a bit wrong for Alireza. Just this pawn on A3, that tempo spent, maybe slowing him down a bit.
Definitely, because I was thinking Queen D3 would be a move, but maybe he didn't like 95, which was played right now. Which maybe 95 you could go Queen back to D2, maybe prepare F3 if the knight moves again, and then castle Queen side here. But it's going for something different. I do like this 95, maybe G5 anyway.
There we go on the board. Good call. But the white knight captures a bishop. He's got the bishop pair now, Alireza, and black's kingside slightly corrupted here with the pawn on G5. He just castles. He's now offering up that pawn you mentioned earlier.
And now he has an attack. Vicious attacker. Here we go. Bishop D3. Do we sacrifice the exchange? Do we go Rook E6? Even Rook E8. Queen H5 is a scary looking move. But maybe he just says King H7. And F4, I mean, you could just see the moves flowing here.
Yeah, we have our first sacrifice of the match. It's almost a guarantee it won't be the last sacrifice, especially from Alireza. And Jan makes a bit of a face after seeing the move F4. He needs to find Queen F6 already. How likely do we think that is? A defensive move, but walking into the eye line of the white rook.
It is a likely move because I was looking at how to Queen F6, FG, Queen takes G5, and of course you already know I'm looking at Rook F7, but then King F7, Rook F1 check, and King moves away. I can take the knight obviously on G7 or G6 at some point, but he goes back to G7, which is the problem here. So Queen F6 really strong, obviously engine approved.
I'm just going to show that line you mentioned, James. Take, and Rook takes F7 is what you calculate, but maybe not quite working here.
Does not work. Rook check, King back to G7 here, and he's okay. There's nothing. Bishop on G3 would love to be on the A1, H8 diagonal, but it takes a few moves to do so.
Yeah, if the bishop was here, it would just be GG. Game over. But Queen F6, that's the first step. He hasn't moved for a while. Still thinking, Jan. Oh, we were talking about odds earlier. I think it's maybe 50% chance he plays this move. I could definitely see him playing a move like F5 or something like that just to try and block it up. It's a bit of a scary position.
It definitely is. Like maybe Queen F6, he could be looking at, what if you go Bishop E1 anyway? Like just anyway. Knight takes F4, Rook F4, like very strange things could happen, especially if you see like a queen f4, then bishop c3 over to rook f1. He takes on f4. Open it up.
Long think, wrong think. He spent a couple of
Yeah.
minutes almost. And what's the refutation to this? Is it a recapture with the white bishop, or is it even taking with the rook? Something you mentioned earlier. He keeps it simple, Alireza. But now all the pieces have joined the party. Where's the checkmate? You're the Jedi.
This is not
What
made in like
next?
5 moves. Maybe rook f6 to start. I guess he'll sack both though. Yeah, rook f6. I wanted to go rook g6. Believe it or not, David, but it doesn't work because he can just take it. So that's super annoying. Jan is not phased though. You see, he's like sipping the tea. Bro. I love it. He's just not phased. Rook f7, queen f5. Is there anything there? Rook f7, bishop f7,
Mm,
queen f5. That is
okay,
scary. How do you actually stop that, David?
that is very scary. Wow, that would be incredible if that works. Rook takes
Rook
f7.
f7, bishop f7, queen f5. And if rook f7, you have
Mm,
queen g6, right? Queen
mm-hmm.
g6, king h8 takes on h6. It doesn't work. Yeah,
Yeah,
bishop. So
this
you win here.
this is checkmate, but maybe
So
black can
what
take
about
with the rook.
right?
And
Queen
still good
g6,
for white,
king
but...
h8, or king f8, queen h6, king e7. Wow, he's good.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
incredible.
Yeah, king e7 and rook e1, and white has an attack, but not quite winning. Alireza is still thinking. Oh, I've taken a peek. The computer suggests a really weird move, James. The computer
Really?
thinks white is winning because of rook to
Whoa!
f5.
What? I don't take the rook though. I'm not touching that. You think I'm about to take this rook, David? You've lost your absolute. After rook f5, bro? What is the next move? That's hilarious. Oh, queen
I
g.
think
I
it's
don't understand.
I think it's queen g4,
And
and
then king
like
h8. Like,
I
yeah.
think black is just stuck. Like now queen g5 doesn't work. That was the idea. Rook a5 is a defensive resource black needs. That's
Oh
also been
wow.
cut out. Queen
Jeez.
g4 might be the next idea. Wow, that is difficult. He's played queen to f3. Good, but not the best. I think very understandable to miss rook f5.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. It's not a no. He made a human move there. You know, human. Queen f3 was human.
Hmm.
Yeah, rook
Agree.
f5 is incredibly crazy.
And now rook a5 does happen, a move we mentioned. Black's other rook was dormant in the corner, not doing
Yes.
much. Fast asleep. Queen e4. Ooh, good luck. Jan trying to defend this. He is up on time though. Queen h7 mate is the threat.
And
Rook
good job
h8
from
only
chat.
move.
Chat saying rook f3. Or rook f3, actually, I think, which I was missing this idea that Jan played, was rook a5. And now rook f3, rook a5. And then I think, guys, after rook g3, he goes rook g5, as David is highlighting on the screen. Great job, though, chat.
Yeah.
Great job, chat. Look at chat out here playing chess. Great job,
Chat
chat.
has been hitting the gym doing those
Chat
rook
is the
lifts.
gym. Like, come on, chat.
Okay, bishop c4. I was going to say that is not the most obvious move, but it is played. It walks into d5, but the white queen will just step out the way with a check. The key, or we'd see d5. It's a blunder. The key, though, is to break through on f7. That was why he wanted the bishop trade. Now it just feels all wrong. That black rook on a5 no longer participating in the defense.
The question is, how is he cooked here? Queen check, king g8, and I don't see the follow-up yet.
Hmm.
Or maybe just rook f3. He finds it. Oh, now rook f3. Chat, there it is. Chat, there it is. Wrong timing, but you were right, chat.
Wow, this match has started so sharply. They haven't given each other time to wake up. And there we go. Jan throws his queen in the way. If the king had moved, it would have been checkmate, or the rook in the corner would have dropped. So he's giving up his queen. But now it's not so easy. Rook takes queen. The black pawn would have been hitting f4. Wow, I think this is what Jan's missed. White didn't need to take the queen immediately. Now he really should be cooked.
Yeah, that was incredible. Rook f3 first, because of lots of ideas with. And he goes with the queen, obviously, because king f8 would be answered with queen takes h8, or even queen takes e6 in some cases. This one's just over, boys. h4, very nice.
Hmm. He gets the queen in the best way possible. And Alireza not going for checkmate. Maybe that's influenced by the fact he has 8 seconds. The first player to dip below the 10-second mark this match. But yeah, he's up material, up for queen. Queen for rook and bishop. And black's pawns are super weak. Should be winning.
Very strong, but have to keep it all together, as the king is actually slightly hard to get to, as we will have some type of trade. I think an imbalance is very likely of rook and bishop versus queen. A pair of rooks can probably be traded off after a rook g8 once we get a rook to g3.
Yeah, maybe black should be putting the rooks on the g-file. There you go, rook trade. As you mentioned, that's what white needs. Black's rooks are pretty strong right now. Watch out, h5 is threatened. But now the b7 pawn drops. Bad news.
Gotta be careful. Slightly careful with some tricks.
Oh, the queen drops back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not over. Black can put a pawn on b5 at some point and then argue that he's got almost a fortress. Do you believe in fortresses? 2 seconds for Alireza. Could the clock stop him here, James?
Yeah, he actually has to move instantly. He's in a scary situation because you got to move so fast. You get 1 second increment, but it's 1 second. When you got 2 seconds, you get 1. You have 3, guys. Of course, easy math, right? Math wizards out there. It's just not enough time. Or it may be, but you have to move instantly.
Yeah, Alireza is basically playing Ultra Bullet while Jan is playing Normal Bullet. The A pawn is running though, and it's been stopped. That's a big mistake. Oh, white did have a check, and maybe queen back to f6. That was a big blunder by Jan, who's lost some coordination, but he's going for the white king. Oh, Alireza though, the clock is making me so nervous. Under 1 second every time he's moving.
He can flag it as possible. Got to be careful. 2 seconds, 1 second. My goodness, he's just barely getting the moves off.
Yeah, and now Jan's got a few pawns. Maybe he can trade rooks at some point, but his bishop is guarding the promotion square. Mistake, though. He's not found a way to get to the white king, and the white king is sitting pretty in the center, surviving.
3 seconds on the clock. He's making it work. If rook check, king to d3, I'm getting out of there. Maybe take on c3 as well. Queen f6 check just to gain a little bit of time.
Wow, Alireza is so speedy, and that's a check. He has to go back.
He's got to move 2 seconds, 1 second. Got him. Woo! Just got it off of 0.7.
Wow, 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 wow. Careful, that white king is nearly mated. He just needs to go back. Go back to... Oh, the rook trade. Is that the end?
Very important. He should be okay.
Yeah, no.
Tricks happening. Rook takes a7, queen to the h file.
Yeah. He can't get rid of the 2 white pawns. He can get rid of one, but maybe not the other. So it shouldn't be holding. Alireza is so tricky. Forcing the black king forward where it can get hit by double attacks. The rook is loose. The bishop are loose. Both pieces undefended. Needs to move his king.
Good king moves here. The next plan, take the pawn, push the c pawn.
Yeah,
Head shake.
Jan.
Jan.
Look at Jan's clock, James. Suddenly he's down even lower than Firouzja, and he's blundered his rook. There we go. We're going to get the first result of the quarterfinal. Jan defended so well for 80 moves, but not enough. Alireza